Hey everybody, welcome to Southern Gmore Gals. I'm Elizabeth, and in my video, this is my 5 under 5 last minute Christmas gifts. If you're new to my channel, I want to welcome you here, and if you're returning, welcome back. So for my first gift, I'm going to make a wreath. I want this to be kind of a neutral winter wreath, so you could have it out right now for Christmas, or you could leave it out after Christmas. So my frame came from the Dollar Tree, and then I'm going to use pine cones that we have out in our yard. I used these once in a DIY to make some Christmas trees in a previous video that I have, but I'm going to use some more of these pine cones to make my wreath, and you'll see here what I'm doing. I did put a pair of gloves on because these can be quite sticky, and I'm just folding down some of the pieces of the pine cone, and I'm going to clip it off. And these clippings look like little flowers almost. You'll see the little end part is kind of full, but then the next piece that you cut here really looks like a flower. So I'm cutting different parts all the way down through the pine cone. And even once you get down to the bottom, that's one of the prettiest pieces once you get all the way down to the end. So lots of different shapes and pieces here. And you want to cut enough of those to go all the way around your wreath. I spray painted about half of them a bright white. I spray painted the other half an off-white. It's called an heirloom white spray paint. And then I left some of them just the natural shade of the pine cone. And I'd considered trying to use some wire to put this on, but then I thought the glue would be much faster and hold it nice and secure, and I could be able to position them wherever I wanted them to. So that's all I'm going to do. I'm just using my glue gun, kind of making a circle around here, and then positioning these just wherever I thought it needed to be filled in. I didn't really have a pattern going through here. I just tried to put, a couple white ones and a couple off-white ones just to give it a nice mix of the different flowers, and then a nice mix of the couple of the shapes of the pine cones here. And you'll notice as I'm going through here, I did glue some of them together on here if there was a gap in between there. And then once I got all the way around the wreath, if I noticed any gaps, I just used pieces of the pine cones if there was a couple little single pieces, and I would hot glue those in between there to fill in that space so you don't see the wreath frame back behind it. So this is really starting to take shape here. I love the way the colors are mixing together. Has a wonderful neutral look, but also a nice winter look where it's made from pine cones. And the best part about it, it really didn't cost me really anything to make except buying the frame. I'm going to show it to you here at the end without the bow and then with the bow. So let me know which way that you like the best. My video is part of a 5 under 5 DIY challenge, and this month it's last minute gifts. This is hosted by Missy from Crafty Cove and Emily from Farm Charm Chic, and I'm really honored this month to be the guest host in the video this month. This month was a little bit challenging for me, so I hope you guys enjoy my video. Definitely let me know what you think about all my gifts here. And if you don't know Emily or Missy, Farm Charm Chic and Crafty Cove, check out their channels. Their information is listed down in my description box. They both have beautiful budget-friendly DIYs and some thrift flips in their videos. There's also a playlist, so don't forget to check out and see what everybody's making for their gifts this month. And this is an ornament that I found from the Dollar Tree for my next gift. I think it's really a pretty ornament. I would love to even get this ornament the way that it looks. I love the outdoors and kind of rustic look. So I think it's really a pretty ornament. But I wanted to make it over just a little bit and see if I can make it, improve it, maybe I guess in my opinion a little bit. So what I'm going to do is just pop the top off here. And I had to wiggle this just a little bit. And actually what's under it is just some styrofoam. So just be easy with it. Wiggle it apart a little bit. It's just glued with the glue gun. So the roof of the little birdhouse here, it will pop off. And for some reason, it's really exciting to me to take their ornaments apart, and I don't know why. I guess I like to see what's actually under here or what it's made up of. But I'm going to take the top pieces off of here, and they're just hot glued down into, there's already a hole in the top of the roof here, so that's going to make it really easy to go back together. And one thing I really didn't like about this piece was the color of the roof. So I painted the color of the roof a plaster shade of Waverly chalk paint, and then down around the base of it here is just like a piece of cardboard, and then there's a piece of twine. So on that cardboard that's showing, I'm going to take some Mod Podge, paint around it, add some of the green moss from the Dollar Tree just to give it a little bit of green, to add it around the bottom here and add to that little kind of rustic feel or rustic look that it already has. And of course, a birdhouse needs a bird nest in it, right? So I'm going to make a bird nest here with a little bit of Spanish moss, just kind of making it around into what I think a bird nest would look like. I'm going to hot glue that inside the bottom of this little hole here. So I don't know about y'all, but I am always a last minute shopper. So it's like December the 4th and I haven't bought one Christmas present yet. So it's terrible to say, but I'm always a last minute shopper. So I've got to get started on that. I love shopping online though. I think that's really convenient and nice. So hopefully everything gets here on time, the things that I'm planning on ordering. But I really enjoy making these ornaments. These have been so much fun this year for me to make over a lot of these Dollar Tree ornaments. So let me know what you guys think about some of my gifts here. If you would love to get one of these that I've made, and let me know which one it is. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking Mod Podge, I'm painting over the top of the roof, putting it on there pretty heavy because I want the snow to be pretty heavy here. And then I'm going to shake this around with some of the snow from the Dollar Tree to give this a little bit of a snow type look. And it came with this really cool piece of pine, and I want to use that again, but I'm going to add a couple more little pieces to it just to give it more of kind of the look that I want. So I'm using a couple other little pieces of greenery from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to use a couple red berries, and then I'm going to make one of the pine, it came with 2 pine cones, so I'm going to glue one of those at the top, and then I'm going to fix one of them down toward the bottom of the roof. And it already has the hole in the top, so that makes it quite easy. I tried to glue more from the inside on this. And then be sure you put your little twine piece back on there to have a hanger, though, so don't forget that part. I'm just going to hot glue it back together. So I just put some glue around kind of the birdhouse part or the body part of it to glue the roof back on. And then you'll see me add that other pine cone and some berries and a little bit of greenery just to kind of fix it up here on the top of the roof. So for gift number 3, didn't I do such a good job painting this picture? Wow. No, I didn't paint this. This is a bag, came from the Dollar Tree. I thought it was just a beautiful bag. I love the scene on here. They actually have another one that has a red barn, but I really love this one because it had the silo. I love the sleigh on here and kind of that quilted look they have in the sleigh and on the barn. So I'm removing the little hanger, the little piece of red thread that was running through there, and that also had a little plastic hanger. I took that off, and then I'm going to hot glue some pieces of white paper inside where the little circles from the bag or where the holder is at. So hopefully try to cover up those holes. You'll see at the end it didn't completely cover them up, so I did take a couple pieces of the glittery snow and glue those on there to try to cover that up. On the picture it's got snow up there on the top and some snowflakes, so I thought that mixed in kind of good on that part so you don't see those holes as bad. And I did go around really lightly all around the bag inside here and glue it together so it can't open. And then also on the back where it folds, I hot glued that together. But you just need a really small amount because you don't want it to make it thick with that glue gun. I'm going to use a piece of this foam poster board from the Dollar Tree. And that's going to be like my frame backing is what I'm going to use. And here I'm showing you only left maybe like 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch around here. So just a little bit around where you can see the foam edging because I want to be able to attach some type of frame that I'm going to make onto that. So you'll need a little bit of a lip there around your bag here. So all I did was use a razor kind of cutting tool and just cut along there, and you'll see me just kind of pop this apart. And I just lightly hot glued the bag to that poster board or that foam poster board, so it's actually glued to that. I have some of these branches, or crepe myrtle branches I clipped out of my yard here, and I'm going to use those for my frame. I tried to take the branches and tie them together with twine to make kind of like a triangle shape and glue that on here, but I didn't like the way it was looking, so I'm going to glue these on here kind of one at a time. I like the way that this looks much better. You'll see me start with some long branches, but as I'm going along, I end up cutting a lot of the branches. I think work better to cut them in pieces. So you'll want some branches to be on the back of the poster board, on the front where your picture's at, and then down along the bottom, just like what you think a frame would look like, but we're making this one on our own. And you'll see a little bit of an overhang kind of on the corners, but you want to cut that off. Don't leave that like I did, because when I left that and then went to try to cut that off at the end, it didn't work really well. It was hard for me to cut through all those pieces, so some of them popped off when I was trying to do that. So cut the length that you want while you're doing it, instead of trying to go back at the end, because you won't be able to cut through all those pieces at one time without either bending your picture or some of those pieces wanting to come off of there because you're putting so much pressure on them. So for gift number 3, this has my teenagers or kids in mind. My kids love lights in the room, sparkly lights, little things with lights in them to sit around. So that's what I'm making here. I'm using this plastic jar from the Dollar Tree and these little stickers to put like an initial on this jar. Then I'm going to paint it. I'm actually going to paint a little bit heavier around kind of the middle of the jar to the bottom, and then leave the top part of the jar a little bit more see-through. Then we're going to take some lights from the Dollar Tree and put in here. When I've done this before with an actual glass jar with stickers, the sticker peels right off of there and you can see through there. But using plastic, the sticker wanted to stick to the plastic. So just keep that in mind. If the kids are old enough that you're making this for, I'll definitely use glass instead of plastic, and they have glass jars at the Dollar Tree. The sticker comes off of here, but I just had to scrape it a little bit to get all of the residue from the sticker off, and I don't think that happened as bad when I've done it with glass. And I'm just using like an apple barrel metallic paint from the Dollar Tree. It's a gold shade that I had. And then there you can see a little bit where I was doing the bottom a little bit heavier. I actually painted the lid so it would match as well. We have some of the little, like Dollar Tree has lots of different little lights, just little small strands. And the one that I'm using is some little stars. So you'll see me put those in there. You'll want to just kind of keep in mind that you'll want to wrap the lights around the little switch box and put the switch box down in the middle, so you can just take the lid off the jar, and right there are the switches to turn it on and off. And here you can see like the sticker doesn't want to come off of here. It wants to adhere to this plastic. So that's just a good idea if the kids are old enough where you could give glass and not really worried about it breaking. I would definitely do this on glass instead of plastic. And here I'm just trying to show you a little bit better. That's how I put the lights in here, just so the switch is right on the top. So, you know, when it's bedtime or when it's time to turn this off, you can just, the switch is right there in the top. And these are little stars. They kind of have that more like LED light appearance, I guess, or kind of a more clear shade. And there you can see one of my girls has some gold garland and things in the room, so I thought the gold really matched good with it, and then the little stars matched up. So really cute idea if you need something last minute, definitely for a little kid or a teenager. I think they'll love this gift. So for my last gift here, I wanted to make a barn ornament. So I saw this thing at the Dollar Tree, and I don't know if this is like a little pineapple kind of little box they had, but I'm going to just pop this apart with my hand. I'm going to they have a buffalo plaid tree skirt. I'm going to use that to wrap all these pieces in. First, I'm going to cut the top part of the pineapple there. I just used a little bit of a razor blade. You'll see me, I kind of made some marks in the top all the way across on both sides, and then I was able to fold this and get that top to pop off. And I traced around the skirt. Actually has felt on the inside, so I just traced it. I'm going to lay that down. I made a couple little slits in each corner. I'm going to use my glue gun and just fold those pieces down to cover it. And I'm going to use a glue gun to glue all 4 of these pieces together. And I felt like it needed a little bit of a bottom, so I'm using that foam poster board that I had left from the picture, and I just traced around and cut out a bottom. I'm going to push that down into the bottom and then hot glue that. And for the roof, I took 2 pieces. You'll see I glued there on the side. Then I cut one of those in half, and I'm putting that on the center. And then I'm going to kind of double layer the center here, you'll see me. And then I'm just using some other pieces of foam to put on the top here to make a roof. And I wanted lots of that snow on the roof, so I used the Mod Podge on the top with the snow, and then I'm going to use the glue gun around the front of the barn and on different parts of the top of the barn, kind of where you might think that snow would gather up, just to make it look a little bit thicker in certain parts. And here I'm just taking some plaster shade of Waverly chalk paint, making some barn doors across the front. Then I'm going to use a little bit of the Dollar Tree garland, make a little simple wreath with a twine bow, and that's it. Really simple. Well, I hope y'all loved my video today. Definitely let me know which gift that you like the best. If you're new to my channel, I'd love to have you subscribe. You can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook. I want to thank Emily and Missy for hosting the challenge today and allowing me to be a guest host today in the challenge. Don't forget to check out their channels along with the playlist. All of that information is down in my description box. I also have lots of other Christmas DIYs and lots of other videos that I've made where I'm flipping over some Dollar Tree ornaments and items and making those look a little bit more high-end. So if you're into that, or if you're loving this video and want to check out some of my other ones, definitely check them out. Leave me a comment. That always helps out my channel. I hope everybody has a very Merry Christmas. And don't forget, the reason for the season is definitely the birth of Jesus, our Savior. Thanks again for watching. Merry Christmas.